All right, this is going to be a super quick review because I only took calls today, and it was a good morning. Yesterday morning was atrocious. This morning, much like Monday, pretty much only went up, and it did so, luckily, in a way that I was actually able to trade. You see, I didn't really have much pre-market analysis. Um, you know, kind of similar thing as yesterday. We're closer to the buy side pivot, which is below us, so slightly bearish. Especially after we swept this sell side liquidity here roughly about 2 hours before market open. But the context, we've kind of been chopping down all through yesterday and all night, and we did bounce out of very strong 4 hour demand. You can see that on ES as well. The 4 hour demand here. So pretty neutral morning. And you guys know me, a lot of my morning trades are just liquidity analysis and all that good stuff. So it's a lot of momentum. If this will load, that'd be awesome. So first candle opened and I filled pretty much at the close of this candle. I think it was actually at the very beginning of the next candle. I don't actually remember. But I did end up taking SPX calls. Realistically, it's not a great risk to award. I was really only looking for this PT here, but I was also looking for NQ's PT. This was just purely a momentum trade. Invalidated majority of the move, nearest pivot is this. So that's what I'm looking for. But you can see this 59.34 level. I'm very bullish for this to break at some point today. Now, I'm not going to hold my calls to it. And one thing I noticed after I got into these calls is they were actually kind of chopping a bit. But I was able to make out with roughly 20% gains. Pretty much right after I entered, only went straight up. And yeah, very, very easy trade. So got 24% gains on there from 3.05 to 3.8. I didn't hold anything because after it came back to break even here, I closed my runner. You could easily tell that it was chopping a bunch, so I held off. However, I'm still rather bullish on NQ. We did end up sweeping this pivot here, and we are against supply, which is risky, but we did end up invalidating a majority of this red candle here, and I did end up filling on calls. We just had strength divergence flip strong. Bare minimum, I'm bullish to here. But I'm only entering half size because I'm kind of going against a potentially bearish liquidity sweep, which is super risky. So I went half size planning to average down or average up. Unfortunately, I didn't get to average down because it made zero lower lows. Only ES did, which is unfortunate. I did end up adding calls on the way up here. Right here, I added some calls. And I also scalped some SPX calls when this selling wick invalidated fully, which was it this candle? No, not quite. Right at the start of the next candle, I believe. Yeah, it was right here that I added some SPX calls. Started off red. Didn't alert it or anything though, because now my big PT is okay. I'm looking for supply to break on NQ and 59.34 to break on ES. That's what I'm looking for. And right when that happened, I sold. There it is. Boom, right here. Closed everything. That's it. The QQQ calls end up getting 54% from the initial entry. Now, keep in mind, my average was worse than that because I added some on the way up. I trimmed and then re-added on the way up. I also got an extra, 15-ish, 20-ish percent from SPX calls on the way up. Those weren't alerted, but that was pretty much my day. Didn't do anything else. Went straight up. All my PTs hit, and I was done trading within 20 minutes, which love those kinds of mornings. So in summary, I mean, 54% is what you could have got on the QQQ calls. And then the SPX calls that I did formally alert, 24%. And it was a good call selling them because they didn't end up reaching. They ended up getting back to where I sold them at 3.8 all the way up here. So if you held them, they did continue, but not, it took a while. So yeah, it was a really good morning. Super easy morning, just like Monday. Does anyone have any questions regarding any of the price action. You guys lost audio. Discord's been having some issues lately. Last night I was streaming. I was in voice last night with a few of you guys, and Discord's been pretty weird lately. Looks like the market just broke to the upside. Yeah, it looks like it's short squeeze city at the moment. Too bad I'm done trading. But yeah, that is it. So super easy morning. Does anyone have any questions regarding any of that stuff? By the way, I did send out an update for the indicator. We are working on another big update, but the new indicator is super precise, and TradingView naturally has discrepancies between time frames, so it's very difficult. But ideally, we're hoping to develop the next update for it sometime today. Nope, no issues. And if you guys couldn't hear this meeting, it's recorded. It'll be posted on YouTube shortly. Does that come out? Wait, does that come out if you purchase the other indicator or just if you premium? The perfect pivots indicator, that's just a premium thing. It's included with the subscription. Yeah, it's not a separate purchase. By the way, the other indicator, the revolutionary and best indicator ever, the supply and demand indicator, that will be updated within the next couple of weeks. I'm sure some of you guys, if you guys have used it, have noticed sometimes in replay mode or on some time frames, certain zones aren't breaking. It's because PineScript is now version 6. It got updated, and I made that indicator 3 years ago, like with PineScript version 3 or something. I don't even know. So actually, let me check what version it is. Let me see. Version 5. Okay, version 5. So that'll be updated as well here coming up. But all right. Can't wait to be premium once I'm done with my hike. Yep. Bree, that's hopefully your hike is going well, dude. Bitcoin exploded. Yeah, Bitcoin went freaking crazy today. And it's still going crazy. I mean, it's just now taking out all-time highs, right? Is it there yet? Yeah, it just got all-time highs. But all right, I will see you guys later. I'll let you guys know when this video is posted on the YouTube. And yeah, lots of projects happening right now. I'll keep you guys updated on all those. But all right, if you continue trading, good luck. Feel free to reach out if you guys need anything.